After working with hundreds of people, whether they want love, healing, abundance, or to step into their gifts, I've noticed one thing that sits underneath it all. Most of us don't actually feel safe receiving what it is we truly desire. Take a breath. Allow yourself to become present. Welcome to Grace Healing House Podcast. I'm Tiffany Renee, medical intuitive, spiritual healer, and mentor. And this is the space where you don't have to perform. You don't have to hold it all together. You don't have to be anything other than where you are, who you are. Here, we return to body, breath, and truth. This is a space for clarity, alignment, integration, and transformation. I invite you to feel, to question, to take up space, and more than anything, just be you. As we begin this new season, I want to start with something that sits underneath almost everything we experience, and that is safety. Because after hundreds of sessions with people over the years, whether someone is wanting to develop their psychic abilities, heal illness, addiction, experience more abundance, or build healthier relationships, one of the patterns I see over and over again is fear. And when we feel fear, we make it mean something about our safety. Most people believe safety means that life will never challenge them, that nothing uncomfortable will happen, but that's not actually what safety is. Safety means I can express myself, I can question, I can feel, I can exist, and my world will not collapse as a result of it. That's very different from real physical danger. If there are guns popping off, if people are running with knives, that's a real call to action. But for most of us, this is not our day-to-day reality. And yet, many of us walk around feeling like it isn't safe to exist, safe to speak, safe to be seen. And these are not conscious thoughts. We're not walking around saying, oh, there I go, not feeling safe to be seen, safe to speak. Usually that's not even present for us. For many, this is a program, a cycle, a system that lives or originates in the unconscious and shows up in the way we behave, the way we interact, the way we play this game of life. There are beliefs that say it's not safe to express, it's not safe to feel, it's not safe to fully be seen. And we don't even realize we're operating from that space. And of course, we can factor in all the different things we experience in our lives, from whether it's childhood, adulthood, those teenage years, the traumas, the patterns that come from those traumas, because we all experience trauma in life. But it's what we make that trauma mean about us that sets the tone for our lives and our relationships. Some of us learn very early, right? We take on this belief very early that people aren't safe, depending on what those traumas are, that our bodies aren't safe, that the world is dangerous, and so we adapt. Because the whole goal, right, when we've determine that something or someone or certain situations aren't safe. The whole goal of our system, of our ego, is to keep us safe, so we adapt. And we do that in so many different ways. We adapt by isolating or clinging or numbing, becoming quote unquote unbothered. But really, this all comes down to us surviving this life thing. For me, this did not start in adulthood. This started when I was a child. You know, I learned early how to take care of myself, how to keep quiet, how to read the room, how to not need too much, do too much, be too much. Because all of those things came with consequences. So I stopped expressing. I stopped asking. And for a portion of my life, I even stopped myself from dreaming, from wanting more. I learned how to handle everything on my own because I was afraid of asking for help. That felt too vulnerable in so many different spaces of my life. Someone would hold it against me, right? These are the beliefs. So that kept me in a very certain kind of box and experience and depth in my relationships. And that followed me throughout my life. I became the one who pushed, the one who proved, the one who just figured it out, just got it done. The one who had to get it right, but underneath all of that again, there was a belief I didn't realize I had. And that belief was that it wasn't safe to be me, that I wasn't enough. So I worked harder, I gave more, I tried to build a life from that place of not enoughness, of lack, of not ever feeling safe. And these codependent relationships began to form because I was looking for some stability, that sense of safety outside of me. I didn't even know that there was a possibility that I could build that within me. And eventually, after all of this performance, all the parts of me said, no more. I'm not working for, 7 days a week and 12 to 14-hour days and trying to be there with this person and that person and, just trying to do it all. Trying. Still holding myself back. Didn't know what it was. Everything in my life started to break down. Okay, and I do mean break down all at once. My financial stability, my mental stability, my physical health, my emotional health, spiritual health. I was entering into another part of my awakening to what had been in the shadows, in the recesses, the places in me that I didn't ever want to see, that I had completely just disregarded because I needed to survive. That's all my system knew, right? And I realized something I couldn't ignore anymore. I wasn't unsafe because of my life, because of all the different people in my life and the situations and the circumstances and all the things. I didn't feel safe because I had never learned how that felt within me. I didn't even know that framework. What does that even mean? Safe. Of course, I'm safe. But everything in me was saying no. Because of years and years and years of all of these beliefs and all of the trauma that I didn't know how to process. I didn't allow myself to process. I just wanted to get past, get through. I didn't want to feel. This, when everything broke down, that was my call to action. That was my call to return to Source as my stability. Source, God, Creator, Divine, as my safety, because there were no more distractions. And cultivate a relationship with my Creator that does not waver. You know, you can call it faith, but I'm telling you, it had to be bigger than that. It started with hope. Hope turned into faith. Faith turned into belief. And then from belief, there was trust. And then from trust, there was knowing. Because here's the thing that I realized: nothing gets done when you continue to ignore your body, you continue to ignore your emotions, you don't allow yourself to feel, to process, for the sake of your family, for the sake of your career. Survival. All that does, we want to think it's valiant, but all that really does, when we keep on pouring ourselves out and into everything and everyone else, all that does is build so much resentment. And I get it. I know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the curse breakers, the way makers. It is not easy being you, being us. But there is an opportunity here to create some sort of balance within our process. And that balance has to begin with this sense, this knowing of safety. Because, you know, you feel resentful for always being the strong one, always having to be the one to do this, do that, can't take a break, pop, pop, pop. That resentment then turns into guilt. Let me tell you, it turns into pain and illness in the body in very many different ways. Right? Because we've been ignoring everything else, meaning the emotions, all the other signals, for so long. But again, it's time for us to make space for what it is we feel, to create the habits and rituals that actually fill us up, and to learn the balance between giving and receiving. Many of us have been taught to give endlessly. Giving is celebrated. Receiving is called selfish. And I saw that modeled in my life, in my clients' lives. So learning to receive became one of the hardest things for me. Grace Healing House exists because of everything I've walked through. It's a space where you can experience something different. A place where you can cry, laugh, feel shame, grief, move your body, speak your truth without the fear that everything will collapse, without the pressure to hold everything together. That is the safety we cultivate here. And now, before we close, because safety isn't something you just understand, it's something you feel. So let's get into the healing transmission portion of the podcast. And so there's nothing you really have to do. The only thing that's here for you to do is to relax. Allow yourself to receive. Make sure you are not operating any heavy machinery, that you're not driving. Be in a space where you feel comfortable and you can just unwind. You can lay down, you can sit up. It is all up to you how you choose to receive. You just give yourself permission to receive. So we begin by taking some nice deep breaths in. We allow ourselves to be full, filled with life, with breath, and when you're ready, exhale. Allow your exhale to be longer than your inhale. Let's do that a couple more times. Let's breathe in. Nice and deep. Take your time. Notice the path your breath takes into your lungs, into your abdomen. Imagine you can breathe into your feet, the very soles of your feet. And when you're ready, exhale, nice and slow. Breathe in. Nice and deep. And whenever you're ready, you exhale and come into your natural rhythm and pace. We now invite Gaia's roots up from her very core, her true center. Just allow Mama Gaia's roots to meet you and to bring in that beautiful Mother Earth energy, that feeling of grounding and stability. Imagine as you breathe, every single cell in your body is receiving this gift of stability, of safety, of harmonization, and Mama Gaia's love for you. Bring all of that earth energy all the way up to the top of your head. You're going to notice this energy goes through the top of your head, all the way in to the true heart of divine. Whatever that means to you, you just set the intention. And so it is. And now this beautiful heart energy from source, from divine, fills up all the parts of you, all the layers of your being, coming through the very center of your being, through your crown, into your heart, where heavens and earth meet. And as you breathe, you see, sense, feel this expansion of light from your very center, your heart, creating your sacred safe space. As we dissolve all the people, places, things, thought forms, emotions, all that is not in resonance with the light that you truly are, with the love that you truly are, with the peace that you truly are. You just allow all of that to dissolve. And notice how you feel now as opposed to when we first started. Take note of what that is. what that feels like. Notice if there's more spaciousness in your energy now. Just breathe it in. And allow yourself to expand even further in your sacred space where no hurt, no harm, no fear may enter. It leaves, but it never enters. Now we bring back all the parts and pieces of ourselves that we've left for whatever reason with other people, places, and things, and other times, dimensions, realities, and in between time. We just bring it all back to us, all the parts of us back to us, whole and purified in Divine's light. Now, and again, notice the shift. As you breathe, you take in more of your essence, your energy, your own light, your frequency. And you release to the source that which was not yours that you've been carrying around. Remember this point, this shift. And anywhere it isn't safe for you to experience more of yourself, to inhabit more of your own being, your own essence, anywhere where that resides within your being on any level, from its origin, we destory, dissolve, delete. Returning it all back to the source from which all comes. All of that energy. And we allow that source to fill us in all of those spaces and places. With self-acceptance. Releasing the judgment that doesn't fully allow for the self-acceptance to take place. Sending those voices and wherever those judgments were created back to the source from which all comes now. And wherever you're ready to receive that self-acceptance, Creator's love, absolute love, the feeling of support. Let's bring in what support truly feels like into the cells. All the traumas that you've experienced as a child, from any other place or time. Even the things that you carried around for your ancestors that has told your body that it's not safe. It's not safe to be in this female body or this male body or this body, period. That this world is unsafe, that there's no place for you, that it's not safe for you to express and to know who you truly are. That sovereignty isn't possible, that peace isn't possible. Everywhere where that resides within you, knowingly and unknowingly, we allow all of that to be healed in Divine's absolute light, truth, love. All the medicine that's needed right now for you, where you are, at this place in your journey, we allow Divine to bring in the medicine. And just allow yourself to receive. It's safe to be me. That's a sacred activation. In case you guys are interested in learning more about that particular modality, it's safe to be me. It's safe to be here. It's safe to receive. Activating your divine discernment now. Some of you may feel this in your higher heart, around your throat. Some of you may feel it in your heart. Whatever you feel, just let it be. Know that it's exactly what it needs to be for you. You might even feel it in your back. Just allow the energy to release. And allow that which is truly aligned for you to integrate and to be fully received. All it takes is intention. Okay. Now just repairing any holes, tears, leaks in the auric field on all levels, all layers. Making sure all this energy is integrated in grace and in ease, and in the highest and best ways for you. Allowing divine to release, dissolve, discreate, destroy from all levels and aspects of our being, our space, and all within any residuals from this healing. And I invite you to now simply come back to your breath. Come back to your body. Feel those roots connected, anchored into Mama Gaia, into her truth, her love, this gift of stability, harmony, and balance. I invite you to move your body if you feel called. Breathe in nice and deep. Sigh it out. Maybe shake your hands, your torso, your feet, whatever you feel called to do. Listen to your body. It knows. Thank you for being here. If this resonated, welcome home. This space is for you. And please do take a look at the offerings that I provide at Grace Healing House. It's all about coming back home to ourselves and building the structures, the routines, the rituals within our daily practice to support us in life and navigating life with more grace and more ease. I am currently doing a deep dive into safety. It's all virtual. Again, I'll leave the link here and you can check that out. And you come, we have a discussion, and then we get into the energetics so that we can truly experience a deeper level of rootedness and safety within ourselves, within our bodies. Right? We're going to be clearing up the auric body, clearing up the auric field. We're going to be looking at the root and seeing what lives there and alchemizing those things so that we thrive. We come out of this space of survival and we move into a space of rest, repair, renew, right? And live our best lives. Remember, safety begins within you. I love you. Bless you. And let me know what you experienced. Let's get this conversation going. Blessings.